Welcome, everyone, to Chapter 3 of Teaching Young Children in Multicultural Classrooms. This is your professor, Dr. Melanie Rodriguez, and I'm excited to go ahead and dive in to this week's presentation. I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone for participating this past week in the discussion boards, as well as writing some really phenomenal papers. All of your discussions and papers have been graded for that week, and so now we're entering our new week and a lot more to learn. So I'd like to just go ahead and get started with Chapter 3, Families in Our Classroom, Many Ways, Many Voices. And, as I normally do these presentations, they're based off of our text, based predominantly off of our authors who have developed some really great tools for us to look into our books and to really be able to think about these different areas. And so as I go through this presentation, you know that I don't typically read off of the slides. What I'd rather have you do is for you to look at the slides, read them yourself, and then just listen to some of the ideas that I want you to think about as you're viewing the slides. So at any time, please feel free to hit pause so that you can take a moment to look, reflect, and then either discuss with a friend or be able to write something down or type something out as far as what your thought process is. So let's just go ahead and start out with define family. What does that mean? Is family merely biological? Is it emotional? Is it spiritual? Is it a culmination of many different components? Now think about, what are the functions of family? Take a moment to reflect on these different ideas listed from your text and think about the areas that stand out most from your personal experience. Do you find these standout areas to be the most essential, or are there other areas that you think are better for your family structure? If so, write down why and how this applies to culture. Let's move to the next slide. So we have family models. Let's describe the existing variety of family structures. Who are the people or person that exists in that structure or in this structure? Is it a traditional family model, or is it more of a non-traditional family model? Now, I want you to reflect upon the characteristics of families across cultures. So, as you can see here on this slide, we're discussing the idea of characteristics of healthy families. And so, I want you to examine the role of families in the transmission of culture. So take a moment to think about it, thinking about these characteristics and thinking about culture and thinking about family and how this intertwines with one another and how it moves through each other. Let's go ahead and move into the assignments for this week. So you have your discussion board, and the discussion this week is about your given name. This is a really fun discussion. I really enjoy this topic. I find so much about how family structures come up with names and why they came up with that name. And it's just always interesting to find out a little piece of history, personal history, from each of you. And then, of course, your written paper for this week is Diversity of Family Structures and Developmental Characteristics of Young Children, Learning in the Mass Media. This is a very audio-visual week this week. You'll find that there are video resources that you can look on in addition to this presentation. But also, your assignment this week does challenge you to watch a children's program and really analyze that program. And there's criteria that you can look on your assignment. So just make sure that you meet all of those areas because they do grade specifically off of the rubric. So remember, the rubric is your friend. So if you look at that rubric and you hit all those points, you will do well. Remember, paper should be at least 500 words, APA formatted. I should see a citation and reference from your text and or resources that have been used within the specific week, okay? And include a word count at the bottom of your paper. That's very important. Thank you so much for all of your hard work. I will be posting 2 resources below this presentation. It's actually going to be not only in the little YouTube area, but it will be actually, I think I'm just going to post it in your course rather than in the YouTube area. So look in your course on the announcements page, and you will see those resources listed just below this presentation. And then you'll see the following presentation below that. Thank you so much again, and I look forward to reading your papers and discussing with you in the discussion boards. Take care. Bye.